Hello, hi, my beautiful collective. I'm Lotus, Lotus the Sage. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have another pick a card, and it's going to be an interesting read, I think. So it's going to be called "If You Love Them All." So the premise behind this particular reading is going to look at multiple aspects of yourself from childhood to the present day you, and asking you to embrace all these aspects of yourself and how they have formed and helped mold you into the person you are presently. So that's the hope for this reading. That's what my intention and my meditation prayer was before we started filming. So with that being said, you are actually going to pick a card today. And so for pile 1, your card is number 29, Thresholds, Blades. Pile 2, you have Nature, number 15, Water. And pile 3, you have Crossroads, number 31, Thresholds. So my collective, take a second, and again, if that pile doesn't resonate with your energy, please feel free to choose another pile. Okay, my lovelies, I will see you at your choice. All right, my beautiful pile 1s who chose the blades. So these are the cards. I know it looks like a sort of smorgasbord of cards here, and taking up most of the screen, but I'm going to let you know what each position is representing. So with the first position that we're starting from here is the child. It's, again, remembering, if I love all these parts about me, this is what we're looking into. So this is the child energy. This is going to be your light, or you can consider it your angelic energy. This is your shadow or your lower vibrational energies. The middle in here is going to be the nameless. The left side over here is the feminine energy. The right side is the masculine energy. This is something special or the special. This is insignificant. And this is the mature person you are. Or the mature person in you, I should say. All right, let's get started, pile 1. So we will incorporate the blades once we figure out what Spirit's letting us know here about the child energy within you. Love. How beautiful. Good fortune. Awesome. Queen of Wands. And Blades. How interesting that that's the card that came out for you. So what I'm feeling here when it comes to the child energy of loving them all, naturally it's a sense of pure, innocent, divine, beautiful love that came in with, it feels like a lot of passionate, loving energy towards you. They're making me, they're making me focus on when I said passionate, and they're saying for some of you, the passion may have came across as, they're saying like over-involved or perceiving like too heavily invested. I don't know if that sounds right, but it's almost like on the shadowy aspects of a parent living vicariously through the child, that they sort of lose, the child and the person sort of lose its own autonomy, because one, the child is following even if they're gifted at it, and two, the other person's not living for themselves fully, even though the energy and love is in the most positive of intentions. It can be what caused some sort of friction, or there may have been a disconnect between you and the mother figure in your upbringing, whoever the nurturer was, but it does feel more specifically like a feminine energy. I also am feeling that embracing this, the essence of who you are, at the core of who you are, is this magnanimous, beautiful, self-assured, magical, beautiful human being that understands when to sever ties, how to communicate clearly possibly, but with a lot of, it really does feel like there's an emphasis on the way that passion was translated into how you were raised. This is interesting. Let's get some more. This side over here, which is your light side, your angelic side, so to speak. And we have the universe. Reconciliation. Interesting. Eight of Cups. And Taurus. Echoing back to the child energy here, when it comes to the light attributes of you, or the angelic side, so to speak, it's like this beautiful universal love that you kind of have within you. And it feels like you gave like space or openness for people. I'm sorry that I keep bringing this back, because they really keep pulling me to like a mother energy here. I feel like there's a strong emphasis or a pull to this light energy of yours, and the reconciling, excuse me, with this particular energy. It feels like that mother energy. It's like a feeling like that you had to like walk away from the way that this was being delivered, the love, how it was being delivered, even though it was, you know, not necessarily from a malicious place. It just didn't resonate. And again, this heavy Taurus energy, again, making me feel like motherly energy, overly protective possibly. There's a sense or a need to reconcile a part of your childhood within yourself to help root your next steps forward. They're giving me a sense of having to go back in order for you to jump forward. That's interesting. Okay, let's see your shadow energy. Where should I put this? This feels out of place here. All right. Then we have ancestors, frustration, the world, and ⴨ shonen. So when it comes to your shadow energies, or the lower vibrational energies, or where some of that learning, let's say, can be done when it comes to the shadow aspects of the self, when we're talking about ancestors and frustration when it comes to the shadow aspects, and again, it could be traditions in the home, again, how we were raised, what lingering karmic effects that have been imprinted on you, all of that kind of thing, and the frustration with possibly, again, this particular matriarchal archetype in your life. It really is bringing me back to like a heavy mother wound, is what I'm feeling here, and the frustration of trying to figure out how to complete this particular karmic wheel, this cycle. And this beautiful Honsha Zen Shonin means may the Buddha within me connect with the Buddha within you. So it's again trying to get to that root of that issue of the underworld of you, the shadow side of you, the parts that might need to be carefully examined, dissected, cut out, and or mended. You're trying to create this place of a sense of peace and harmony within the self, within this ancestral line, within the lineage. It has to deal with possibly blockages from past trauma, past pain. It's all echoing to the same energy here, especially when it comes to that shadow. But again, I really do have a very strong feeling for you, my lovelies, that it has to do with this woman's energy. Interesting. The position over here is the nameless. Let's see what we got. It says destruction. I kind of like it. And brown-haired woman. Wow. Okay. With the Four of Swords. And Aquarius. So what I'm feeling here from the nameless, it feels like this was sort of a necessary part of your path, again, and part of the molding and the forming of you is learning how to break down these particular karmic structures or these karmic barriers in some way, or the hurt, the trauma that might be still lingering. This energy can be that brown-haired woman, absolutely, which can reference to this matriarchal energy in your life. This brown-haired woman can also be you. And again, don't worry too much about the gender in this particular placement, because of the fact that I feel like this is still talking about the feminine energy within the mother wound, regardless. So that destruction, either within self, within the dynamic, is what has led you into this contemplative, reflective state. A part of where you're sitting in the frustration and figuring out how to reconcile this energy within you. That Aquarian energy of that humanitarian service, that seriousness, that innovativeness, about the matter, about the thing that's nameless within this dynamic, which very well I'm feeling has a strong pull in this direction of that mother wound. There's also a feeling of allowing yourself time to process the destruction or process all aspects of what has or needs to crumble or what can be rebuilt. Okay, let's see your feminine energy, which is on this side over here. We have the outlaw. You know what I feel that's so fitting for this? Because of the fact, again, walking away from a version that didn't work for you, right? And I think a part of that feminine or that mother wound energy is that being the outlaw of that particular archetype and resonance of feminine, and however that plays out in your personality. Did I show that to you already? Okay. And then we have doubt. Look at that. I totally get that, for sure. Then we have the Ten of Wands. And the Six of Wands. I feel that's exactly what you need to do. I feel like your feminine energy, or what you have been going through, or what you are doing, is, again, rebelling against this particular nature or type of nurture. Even though you might be doubting if this is the right path, this is it feels like a heavy burden to carry, to be the one to sort of break that cycle, to release that trauma, for you to have victory in that feminine energy, again, within that mother wound, learning and healing, again, cutting out or deciphering what needs to be replaced or fully released. This is lovely. Let's see your masculine energy. Trust. Yep. I feel like it's talking about trusting in the masculine energy of the doing, of the action of releasing this. That's what it feels like for me too. It also can be, since there's a heavy emphasis on family, it can be about that father archetype or the masculine archetype in your life, trusting in that particular road currently for you to accomplish this particular task. Yeah. And then Fool. Yeah, it's like trusting, it's like trusting to not be fearful to appear like the fool. Like you don't know what you're doing, or that your actions are foolish, or why would you go about it this way, etc., etc. It's like trusting in that masculine energy for yourself. Yes, exactly. With the Four of Wands. Look at that. And the Ten of Pentacles talk about family, lineage, legacy, long-term, right? And the Four of Wands, stability, home, celebration, also marriage and stuff. There's a really strong focus on family here. Like immediate bloodline, blood ties kind of family, or people you grew up with that are technically still, family regardless of blood. Excuse me, that was weird for me to say. How to get out. That was awesome. Weird. Okay, so what I'm feeling here, my beautiful collective, when it comes to like loving all parts of yourself, it's like, how do I trust this masculine energy within me about the doing, even though I might appear like the oddball, the black sheep? I need to reprogram the feminine archetype within my lineage, within my karmic destiny, within whatever it is that I'm playing out, how I want and choose to present myself in that nurturing essence without doubting my unconventional ways or the reasoning behind the need for change. Wow. Okay, let's see the special, or what's special about this whole process for you. The sovereign, look at this, exactly. Sovereignty within self, a knowing, that's beautiful, and wisdom. This is it. That's the special thing about this whole shitty situation. The sovereignty that you develop within oneself and the wisdom gained through that experience, which leads you into that sovereignty, into that knowing. Again, all the shit that you've been through, the end of that cycle, understanding and growing from it, all the moments or instances you felt stabbed in the back, abandoned, misunderstood, wasn't heard. Again, the blades, they bring me back to that, you know, where you felt betrayed in some way, or, yeah, I would say, I think betrayed is a stronger word than I would normally use, but it feels a sense of, it's not abandonment, it's like a disappointment within the lack of awareness. Woo. Then you have Libra, look at that. The balance, right? The disappointment within the lack of balance, with the lack of justice, the lack of awareness, the faith, you know, that's what's special about it. You are able now to balance out the masculine and feminine energies within you, or that is what the process is leading you to, because this is what is special. And you have 2 air signs here and an earth that might be significant. Also a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, of course, could also be significant, or primary or secondary in their chart. Interesting. Let's see what's insignificant. The void. I love it. I love it. What's insignificant about this situation, my lovely, here is don't worry about the in-between, about the not knowing, about the blind spots almost. It's a feeling of being divinely guided and trusting in the flow. Communication, yeah, talk about divinely guided, right? Communicating within the void, with spirit, nudging you in the direction you need to go to heal this particular ancestral wound, or mother wound, specifically, excuse me, and then strength. Like I said, you don't have to fight, is what I feel like now. It's like you're protected, you're being guided, you have the strength to do it. The tenacity is what I'm hearing more specifically to get through this particular complicated situation or phase of your life. And then we have beautiful Malkuth. I'm going to read a little bit from the book. Again, these are still fairly new. Malkuth represents the realm of earth. A reflection of the realm of, is a reflection of the realm of earth, and represents the material plane of existence. So speaking about like what you don't need to worry about, right? Because you're in this void space, or feel like, how do I get through this? The frustration of it. It's like, you're protected here. We've got you. It's a sphere that receives. It allows tangibility out of other spheres' emanations. It's reminding you that all things are a reflection of the divine and of the grand design. All things have a plan. You must be patient, for all is as it should be in the grand design. So this is about, like I said, this patience. I don't know if I said that or not. Maybe that might have been the... Nope, it's you guys are the first one. Wow, my brain is... I feel like I'm time jumping, so I apologize, my collective here. Like, time has been very strange for me in the last couple of weeks. Anywho, it feels like what's insignificant here is about that, like, you are grounded in this path, or this track, again, you know, the reasoning of why this is all forming, or how this has all formed you currently. The communication, your connection to spirit, your strength and tenacity, the patience within, the grounding in particular. It is all part of the divine plan. Hence, if you love it all, you know? It's beautiful. Okay, and your final card, but your final card of the spread, I should say, is the mature person in you. The revolutionary. Ain't that the freaking truth? Especially with that Aquarian energy, the destruction, the being the one to really complete this particular traumatic path in the bloodline, in the ancestral line, in the heritage. It's beautiful. Oh, look at this. New beginnings. Yay. Yay, the revolutionary with that new beginning. Abso-freaking-lutely. This is where this whole thing is going to form you, or what this whole thing is forming you into, is this beautiful revolutionary spirit energy for this new beginning, a new path, a new cycle. Fully clear of, again, clear of all the karma, of all the hurt, the trauma, the lingering side effects is really what it is. It's clearing it out. I love it. Sorry. And I'm balancing it out. Perfect. Of power, of energy, of love, of listening is what I just heard. Reciprocity and nostalgia. It comes back to an even keel. It's almost like, it's not almost like, it is like you heal that line, and they're showing it to me like a vibration in a string, like you in a music instrument, but like slowed down. And now it's not like frantic where all the strings are sort of like beating against each other. It's like you can see the individual plucks. I forget what that's called when it comes to a style of music. It starts with an A, if I'm not mistaken, or ʟᴑ. I don't know. It's coming. It's somewhere in there. Anyways, that's what I'm getting, like the clarity of the distinctness of sound and the wave. Maybe that's the Aquarian energy here. But it's making me feel like there's a harmony now that happens, quite literally a harmony that happens. That balance, that equilibrium, the regaining of justice in some way. It's balanced now. Oh, wow, my collective of Pal One. That was a beautiful, fun reading. I'm going to give you one closing message from the Gypsy Oracle to add on to the mature person in you. And how that, you know, who you evolve into, what blessings may come, what things you may need to look out for. Just going to take one card. And water. Emotions are at their peak. So this is it, my lovely here. It develops into this emotionally balanced, evolved, revolutionary person. A new beginning when it comes to the emotional, again, that mother wound, that feminine energy. And the emotions at the peak are, it's like you've reached that point of culmination is the right word. That place of the pinnacle, the calm, the moment of clarity, the truth. And it's in the emotional body specifically is what I'm feeling for you, my love. I do want to take one more. Like I knew it. Hand of fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. I'm telling you. Like protected, my friends. Fully protected. We know what's going on. You're doing the right thing, so don't give up. Keep moving. Don't doubt yourself. Because you are evolving into this beautiful, balanced, emotionally mature, loving human being. I am sending you so much love. I feel it from you guys. It's very calm. It's very peaceful. But it has a clear and direct purpose, a want for more, for better, for different. Until next time, my lovelies, I'm sending you so much love. Ciao. Welcome, my pal 2 who chose the water. And as I was saying, it's going to be incorporated into your reading. So each position is representing, for position 1, it's the child. Position 2, it's your light energy or your angelic energy. Position 3 is going to be your shadow energy or your lower vibrational energies, the benefits of course. Position 4 is the nameless. Position 5 is the feminine energy. 6 is the masculine. 7 is the special, something that's special about this. 8 is the insignificant. And 9 is the mature person in you. So, love them all. How are we getting started here, my beautiful Paltus? Let's see. In the child position, we have reflect, confusion, and the 9 of Wands. The first energy that they're bringing up for you, my collective of Paltu, is a possibility of when you were younger, since we're looking from the child position. Of when you were younger, there was I'm getting a feeling of a lack of direction, or almost like an overabundant amount of energy or passion, but not having a direction or an outlet to put it in. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. And this reflect energy with the confusion afterwards, it's sort of like reflect on the confusion of the emotions with the water, of like where this was. And this 9 of Wands is that fire energy, that action energy, but also like finish what you start. You know, there's like maybe that's it. You could sort of start a whole bunch of things but don't finish something. Maybe your attention gets distracted very easily. There's like something about that. There's a focus now on how that part of you is being used in the present version of you. This is interesting. Okay, let's see what your light energy is, or your angelic energy. Oops, wrong one first. Sorry, guys. We have the Sage, Gain, 3 of Swords in the reverse, and Scorpio. So when it comes to your light energy, my lovely, excuse me, with the Sage energy here, and especially with that Scorpio, it's making me feel like you're being called to sort of work your way through or gain from a difficult situation. Heal yourself from something that was difficult. Like the light energy is, in my opinion, based on this, it's like the ability to be able to do that, to heal whatever this confusion was in your past, or to address what didn't make you feel like you had a direction to go or a purpose to fulfill in some way. Yeah, it's like you gain that knowledge from what had hurt you in the past, and it does level you up in some way. Let's see what the shadow energies have to add to this before I continue. The Explorer, Scandal, the Empress, yeah, and ʟᴏ. What I'm getting first off here, before I sit with it for a second, I'm really feeling like the shadow energy, or the devil within you, so to speak, allows you to explore the scandalous nature within yourself, within whatever happened, within this confusion, that allows you to level up. Again, like we were talking about here, to gain wisdom, that sage energy, to be able to reflect upon why this may have been the chosen path for you when you were, meaning like, I believe that we choose, you know, some of our lessons that we need to learn in every incarnation. And this, within that vein of thought, it feels like that. It's like, why would I choose to have this be my experience? You know, and it feels like you gain clarity to some degree on the benefits of the experiences that you had, how you triumphed over them, how your perception and perspective altered and evolved because of it, the difficulties you had to overcome and still do. And the io, I suppose if I'm pronouncing that correctly, it translates to I am, or my true self. It's a symbol that completes the Trinity aspect and combines the physical, mental, and emotional and material energies of this plane with the energies of the divine and the angelic realms and the other planes and realms of existence. So again, that explorer into that depth of you, the scandalous parts of the taboos, of nature, of people, of situations. And Io is the completion of the transformation from material to spiritual. And when this appears in a reading, it tells us that the situation or the experience has been or is preparing you for a personal transformation, which will lead you along a path of light, abundance, and higher consciousness. If your situation seems bleak, remember that this is a test of your will and determination as you grow and evolve, exactly like we've been talking about. A test of your will, like why would I choose this? The evolution of yourself with that Empress energy. And if we're talking about the shadow and the light energies, and again, coming back to that child of reflect, of the confusion, it's like both of these energies are lending to giving you the tools and the skills to be able to find your way out of that confusion, metaphorically, of course, and quite literally, possibly. Beautiful. Let's see over here. What is the nameless about your loving all of you? The creator. I like it. Ooh. Sexual attraction. Seven of Wands. And Pisces. A lot of watery depth type of deep thinking, diving deep, spiritual depth energy. Okay, so what I'm feeling here for the nameless, and again, especially how this is like, I guess, playing out within you, they're bringing me back to the comment I gave about having so much like a passionate energy and abundance of energy, but not having a direction or an outlet to put it in. And there's a possibility for some of you that outlet at some point in your life could have turned very sexual in nature. Not that there's anything wrong with this, they're just pointing this out, is what there's no judgments here. And I feel partially because of that boundaryless energy, that diving deep, the confusion within the Neptunian vibe, that Pluto energy, there's like a feeling of needing to fight over things, fight up against things, fight for things. Like it always feels like there's like a fight or a struggle. But the interesting thing is, it feels almost like you might feel like you're just attracting all of this. Like you're attracting all of the shit in some way, and it's making you feel like that you're like not on path, or like, what are you doing wrong? Like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting with this nameless energy. But I'm also feeling that when it comes to this creator and sexual attraction, it's like you have this beautiful magnetic pull that like draws people to you, that you kind of have to fend them off. That mystical magnetic charm, that sexual potency, that lively, vivacious type of vibe, that the unknown within you, That's a beautiful pulling energy is what I'm getting. It's either and or both. And I feel that if we're talking about loving all of you, it's loving all aspects of that, all of what this produced within your actions, within the perceptions, within your understanding. It's all to benefit the bigger picture, the whole of you. This is lovely. Let's see your feminine energy. like that. Look at this. Power. My power. My power. Strength. Yes. Strength and power. This is heavy. Very nice and strong feminine energy here. Lovely. Two of Wands. And the King of Pentacles. I'm really getting a sense of like you're learning also how to own your power, to own your strength. It's like walking that tightrope or the line between femininity and masculinity in the perception of how it's viewed. You know, like there is a strength and a magnetism, because the interesting thing that I didn't say when I felt the strength and power card come out, I was like, this feels like a strong feminine energy. And sometimes, or most times I would say, when I would describe that energy, I was like, it's like a masculine feminine energy. But this, I didn't want to say that. It was like, it's not like masculine. It's a very just strong and palpable feminine energy that might feel so strong that people perceive it as masculine, but it's not. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's very interesting. It's like rooting and grounding in the feminine aspect of yourself and using that as a power. As they said, viewing it as one of your powers. And they brought me back to the sexual attraction. How you lure in, how you pull people in, instead of it being, or instead of majority of the time, or feeling like, you know, it's like flies attacking you. This feels more like a better way to understand how to manipulate your own feminine power in a way that does not interfere with your personal space, but provokes exactly what you're looking for. Wow. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, where you've just said something and you have no idea what you just said. That's exactly what just happened here. This is interesting, pal, too. Let's see your masculine energy. I'm so intrigued. We have release, journey, they just said release your view of the masculine, or release the view of the masculine. We have the Lovers, and the Six of Cups. Wowie. How interesting. It's almost like you get exactly what I was talking about, that balanced masculine and feminine energy, or that very powerful and palpable feminine energy. And it's like we get the gentle masculine. It's very interesting. And it's, again, doesn't feel like more, it definitely can be, but it doesn't feel like a heavier essence of feminine energy on the masculine, and the feminine side has a more masculine vibe. It feels like it's a beautiful yin yang. It's a great balance of how the interplay is the perfect word. The interplay of the masculine and feminine within you, within this start point or seed point of the confusion. It's interesting how it, like, that water is that flow, right? And I'm getting this like more masculine display or personification of the feminine energy, and I'm getting a more gentle personification of the masculine energy. I get more doing here, and I get more receiving. Again, this strong receiving. It's really lovely. So what I'm feeling here is embrace the way that each side of your masculine and feminine energy within you wants to play, wants to create, wants to interact. And they're showing me the water again in the confusion. Like if you were to put the water, I don't know if you can see this really clearly here in this maze picture. If we were to think about dropping water, you know, the water would find its way through those places. Of course, it would curl up in corners, but eventually that pathway would reveal itself, is what they're showing me, you know? If you were to allow it to let it flow, the path would be revealed to you, or there would be less confusion within, I feel like, what energies to use, how to use them to your benefit. Again, how to manipulate the energies better, you know? And that's the energies within yourself and within the perception of yourself and how you think people may view you. All right, let's see what is special about this beautiful, loving all of you. The paradox. This is exactly right. That's right. You are the paradox, like the other, you know? It's exactly what it feels like. Everything's sort of like flip-flopped. Like one way is, that's, again, maybe that's the confusion. That's part of the paradox. Like you navigating your way through paradoxes, you being able to find your way out of these mazes, out of these like difficult situations, right? The transition, the end of that particular thing within you. And spiritual, yeah. It is definitely a spiritual quest for you. Part of the paradox is about the spiritual quest, about you figuring out to some degree how this I guess blueprint of yours really functions within you, you know, and how you operate that manual. Do you read it all? Do you skim it through? Do you just take the Cole's notes, you know? And then you have the Four of Cups in the reverse. Not allowing yourself to miss the opportunities to find the deeper meaning behind things is what they said. That's what's special about this, special about you, you know? It's like, again, coming back to this, that sage, it's like you took this on. Like, I feel like you felt it. Don't get me wrong. It was not easy for you and you're still figuring it out, but it feels almost like, okay, this is what I got. Well, fuck, let's just go. Like, I just got to keep moving. That's kind of what it feels like, but it's not moving in a disconnected way from, the reflection of you. It's moving in a way to gain perspective, to gain knowledge, to explore, to empower, to create, to release, to receive, And then Venus, and to love, of course. That's what's special. You find the love in situations that most people wouldn't even be able to figure out what's front or back. You know how to dance within the chaos. Or you're really learning how to be a much better dancer within the chaos. In play with the analogy, you're allowing the music now to move you instead of choreographing your movements. And I think maybe that's not just now. I feel like that's what you've been doing. You've been allowing yourself to be moved by it, to be molded by it, to be shaped by it, and you didn't run away. You didn't hesitate. You sat with it, or ran with it, or walked with it, however you want to think about it. That's what's special about you, about this whole process of loving all of them, loving all parts of you. Let's see what's insignificant at the moment. Movement. Yeah, I feel like because you don't have to think about the movement. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, you just went with it. You didn't have to force it. Exactly what I was feeling here. Yeah, abundance. Absolutely. Because you have an abundance of movement within you. Again, becoming that better dancer within the chaos. You don't even have to think about it. That's really what I feel. Making movements also. The Hermit in reverse. You don't have to stay quiet about what you're doing. Again, the wisdom has been gained is what I feel like. It has been gained. And then Mars, look at this. Talk about masculine and feminine energies, right? On the other side, feminine here with the masculine energy, masculine here with the feminine energy. Exactly what I was feeling. Like what is insignificant now is needing to use force to prove my worth, to show up for you in some way, or excuse me, show off to you, and not show up, show off to you in some way, like that I got this or understand this. It's sort of like this beautiful, deep knowing within that you're doing the work, like which the work meaning that you are doing the self-reflective work that allows your beautiful soul to evolve, to grow, to expand, to love bigger, you know? Oh man, this is so juicy and good. Let us see the mature person in you, my lovely. The underworld, freaking A. I love it. I freaking love it. Solitude. Fair enough. They just said because of this, like, you don't have to hide anything, but you understand the value of, again, that self-reflection, right? Which comes into solitude, which means that I can go deep within myself, into the underworld, that scorpionic, that Piscean, this shadow here, right? The explorer within. I know how valuable that place is for the maturing of me. Excuse me. And then the King of Cups, talk about emotional maturity, right? Yeah, I'm able to go there understanding my solitude, not afraid of my dark side, of my shadows. That's what this leads you to. A full comfortability within all aspects of you, all versions of you, all disappointing past moments embraced, all new adventures ready to step into that journey, to fully embrace the maturing of you, from how your humble beginnings, so to speak, into the magnanimous version of you that is emerging. It's not even wants to, it's like a part of the progression. It is what happens. I love it. Okay, let's get your final guidance cards. This was so lovely, my collective. So loving all of them, all of you, all parts of you, the child energy, the light energy, to heal and transmute transmute the difficulties, transmute the confusion, for you to allowing yourself to transition the end of that cycle, to level up, to grow, to explore the taboo sides of everything, the nameless, to embrace this nameless energy within you on however that plays out, for you to again empower yourself in the way of your own feminine and masculine expressions, and however that plays out for you on your particular journey. The speciality of this paradox, a spiritual paradox that you're going through, never missing the opportunity to love and embrace what comes up for you, letting go of any extra need to prove yourself or to hide away, for example, or to aggressively put your point out there. You've matured and you understand the value of self-reflection and solitude and emotional maturity. It's beautiful. It's an awesome progression. So you have air. Seek a union of mind and spirit. That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you do. You seek that union with mind and spirit. This is what this whole journey is about. And, the wyvern. Your secrets are safe. The wyvern or wyvern. Your secrets are safe. And again, this hermit energy, it's like I don't have to hide myself. I don't have to pretend to be something that I'm not, you know? And because I am in union, or again, that beautiful yin-yang energy, fully balanced, it's really lovely. Oh, my collective of Pal 2, this was so nice. I am sending you so much love. Until next time, keep watering your lives. Please let me know if this resonated. Ciao. Welcome, my beautiful Pal 3s. Okay, so this position over here, the first position, is going to represent the child, or the child's position. This position over here, meaning I'm using this as your inner child, if that's not clear, or your younger version of you, or literally your younger self. This is your light energy, or your angelic energy. This is your shadowy energy, or your lower vibrational energies. The fourth position over here is the nameless, about you, about the situation, or about the situation on how you're evolving, in other words. the masculine energy, the feminine energy, the masculine energy. What is special about you, the situation, what's insignificant, and the mature person in you. So let's see how we get started here, my lovely, with the crossroads in mind. We have get curious. How fitting. Anxiety. Knight of Wands. You have a similar feel to pile 2, starting off right from the beginning. So if you are drawn to pile 2 by any means, please, maybe there might be some additional messages in there if you'd like to take a gander. So my collective, what I'm feeling here in the child position, naturally it feels like you were a very curious child or curious youngster, or your spirit in general is very curious. I'm curious if at some point something happened that somehow may have squashed or thwarted your curious nature, or insulted it in some way, or made you feel like it was a weakness as opposed to something to explore and be proud of. And I feel, or you just got overly judged, or your curiosity may have made people perceive you as like flighty or naive. And there's something about that energy here. And I think it created an anxiety within you at some point. They keep bringing me to the number 4. So I don't know if it was 4, 14, 24. I'm not really sure, but there's something about 4 in there. And I think I feel like what they're telling me here is that you were like too quick to change this part of you, or to feel, or to, what are the right words? You were too quick to dismiss this part of you instead of embracing it, which has actually led to some, or contributed, to some of the social or daily anxieties you face. They're telling me that you didn't develop enough of the coping mechanism of self-assurity or knowing self before it started to break down in some way, or people or things were nibbling at it. Let's see where this is going. Let's see your light energy. The wildling. Yeah, there's like this beautiful, curious nature that it feels like got stomped on in some way. It's like, it's almost giving me the feeling of like, why are you smiling? Like, why are you happy? Like, there's nothing, like it's that kind of feeling. Interesting. And then growth. Weird. The Magician in the reverse. And the Triskele. So the light energy over here, talk about that wildling again, that curiosity, that young, vibrant, rambunctious, creative, spirited person that wants and was craving this sort of growth and expansion, hence this curiosity. But again, coming back to me feeling like some of your magic was squashed, like to that analogy of like, why are you happy? Or like somebody always just being miserable, or you have to like not show any type of good things that happen, you know? It's that kind of weirdness there. And Triskele stands for that eternity symbol in paganism, goddess, mother, maiden, crone. The 3 aspects of the goddess, maiden, mother, crone, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. This card also talks about progress, revolution, competition, moving forward, for letting go and not dwelling upon situations that are stuck or inactive. It's talking about moving forward. You know, it's like moving away from that energy. Again, the crossroads of like, do I choose to stay in this energy or choose to be in this anxious state or fearful of my own self in some way? And I think that this light energy is leaning to come back to that curiosity, to that childlike wonder, to your own personal magic. This is lovely. Let's see what the shadow aspects have to add. Yeah, of course. Take risk. Of course. Absolutely fitting. And then to find peace. Oh man. Take a risk to find peace in the shadow. It's like looking at whatever this anxiety is, or whatever this dimming or veiling of your own power was. Yes, look at this, the Nine of Pentacles. That's where your magic and your abundance lies, is in you taking a risk and diving deep into the shadow aspects of the things that, you know, that need to be resolved, that are inactive, that are stuck within you, that you might be stuck at that crossroads. Maybe you haven't chose the direction yet. Then Capricorn, yep. Sturdy, diligent, powerful, ambitious, achieving energy, disciplined, you know, disciplined from the lessons learned, ready to step forward, step up, to move up, to continue to evolve, to get past this energy. Let's see what the nameless here is. Ooh, the Magi. Look again. The actual magic that's within you, my friend. I really do feel like it. It's like, oh man, it's that Cinderella type of vibe, you know? It's like, because you're just so lovely in all ways, somebody's just gonna freaking trying to find a way to squash on that, to rain on your freaking parade. It's that vibe. It's a full Cinderella vibe. Look at this, bad news. This is what I'm feeling when it comes to the nameless. It's like every time that you try to use your magic, something comes in to fucking slap it down, squash it down, knock it down, shut it down. And Spirit, I feel like Spirit's saying this is there's three things involved here. The perception of yourself, the conditioning of self, of family in particular, and then the circumstances on which you find yourself in based on these perceptions and projections. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy of perpetuating the same thing because you really believe it. Believe that you're not magical. I can't say that you really believe it, but it's been really instilled and ingrained in you some way. This is so intriguing. Then the Knight of Cups. Yeah, just somebody coming to you to just give you some shitty ass news to, again, rain on your frickin' parade. Netzach. This is interesting. So I feel like the nameless is echoing to, for you here, my love, is for you to embrace the actual magi within. For you to actually recognize your power, because this Netzach card literally means, or can translate to victory, representing passion, eternity, primal instinct, sexuality, and sensuality. You are asked to meditate upon and examine these energies, for they are necessary in your situation. You're representing your passions. This is you, eternity, primal instincts, your primal gifts. It's a gift of yours that I'm telling you has been latent or been squashed. And that might also have to do with sexual energies, or your perception of self, or how you view sex even in general. It's Netzach lends its power to overcome all challenges, and these challenges of the bad news coming in, the people who are wanting to, are just so ready and willing to stomp on anything that's joyous, you know? Interesting. Let's see the feminine energies. The Weaver. Oh, I love it. I freaking love it. I just heard, within this process of you loving all of yourself, you are beginning to weave timelines into one another. Meaning, in a sense of rewriting your past that creates a different future than one that was imagined yesterday. This is beautiful. Look at this and the power. Yeah. Yes, feminine energy, power 3. Then you have the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. And the 2 of Pentacles. Again, it's echoing to this, the 2 of Pentacles is echoing to that weaver energy that I was feeling. The power that you have to weave timelines, to merge or transition yourself out of this anxious energy and believing that that you're not magical, that you're not worth more, that you can't take a risk on yourself, that you can't trust yourself. It's like there's no more planning about this. The feminine is empowered, I feel. Feminine energy knows, and they just want you to weave that knowing into your reality. Let that outweigh the bad news, the naysayers, the light squashers. I keep calling them the light reapers. That's what I keep calling them. I like that name. The masculine energy, shadow. Look at this. Look at this. And then surprise. When I was saying that the feminine energy is fully empowered and knows her magic, her fire, the masculine energy within you is actually what is dimmed, my lovely, which is that again, that action, excuse me, that go forth energy, that thought into action, the manifestation of the thought into form. You know, it's that belief in doing, in the action. It's in a shadow for you, and I feel like the surprise of what Spirit's saying is like, if you were to really tap into that, this energy that's around you, you'd have more of a fight back kind of attitude, a fighter spirit, instead of a very passive or submissive energy when it comes to standing up for yourself in some way. The surprise is in that shadow work of the masculine energy for you, my lovelies. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse and the 5 of Cups. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, no love in this masculine energy, feeling like you're not good enough, left out, you'll surprise yourself. That's what Spirit's echoing to today. Love this about you. Like, if we're loving all of you, loving all of what has happened and how it is molding you and forming you into the version or the evolved version that you want to be, or currently who you are now. This is what's happening here. Tap into that energy to transmute all of that. To know that there is a beautiful awakening that is wanting to happen. Open the surprise letter, you know, open that gift of you. Take action. Be your own cheerleader. Oh man, let's see what's the surprise. Not the surprise. What is special? I guess it's a surprise. Maybe it's a surprise for you. What's special about you, my lovely? About this process. Share wisdom. So there's going to be something that you are fully actually learning and integrating, that you will be able to master, I feel, and teach what you've learned, meaning live your talk now. And also, maybe it is literally about sharing the wisdom of how to get yourself out of an anxious state or anxiety-ridden thoughts, you know? Dark hair man. This can obviously stand for you, my viewer, but I'm really getting a feeling of what's special about you or about this. I'm feeling back again to the masculine energy. Share the wisdom, what you gain from this lack feeling, and how you are going to transition this energy into the doing, into that confidence, into that same energy, like the feminine energy of the confidence, that power, that time weaver of melding and mending the two together. And you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yep, slow and steady, can be a little bit hesitant, but it's not a process that needs to be rushed. You know, as long as there's an acknowledgement of knowing what you want to tackle, understanding where some of the anxiety, the confusion, the hurt, you know, lays or laid. And then the moon, how beautiful. That's what's special, the emotional exposing of what was not allowing your light to shine. And again, lending from the feminine energy with that moon energy about calming this process within you, about reasoning with your emotions and self. That immediate action is not necessary. Like I said, you can take your time, especially with that moon energy, doubling down on that. And the card's lens says too that immediate action is not always the correct path to take when tackling a situation. And this is exactly what we're talking about here. You know when to slow down. And I feel they're echoing to the surprise or what's special about you, or that you may not know, again, is bringing me back to this masculine energy. Here is like, have you taken or misunderstood something or taken a wrong direction because you misinterpreted something about yourself that now needs more shadow work on your masculine energy to bring out that fire within, that driven Capricornian type of energy. Let's see what's insignificant now. Withdrawal. Exactly. It is not a time to withdraw, my love. At freaking all. It's time to step out. But again, it's not a need to rush or be impatient about something. It's just recognizing it and continuously taking the steps towards it. Judgment. Again, feels like another kind of crossroads, right? Withdraw. There's no... Also that pause, right? You might need to pause a little bit longer until you really find that curiosity again about which direction you want to head or how to tackle this particular thing within you. It's like, which way do I go? Do I stay on the same path, or do I tackle this now? And Two of Swords in the reverse. I feel this, I'm trusting my intuition. I don't need to hide. I'm going to use my judgment, my discernment, and I'm going to step into my power. That's what this feels like. ʟᴏᴠᴇ. And this card talks about great being of the universe, shine on me. How beautiful is that? It also means great shining light. So the card's asking you to ponder life, right? When we're talking about what's insignificant. So this card is talking about pondering life, your goals, your desires, in order to guide you in a loving, compassionate, and abundant way. Cleanse your life of unnecessary energies. And if this is insignificant now, because of the fact that you don't need to withdraw, you don't need to shed yourself with these energies, because you already, it feels like the evolution of, you've already completed that. You will have let go of that, especially because this will be mastered or being approached in a different way now, because you understand it differently, your own personal magic. And allowing yourself to clear away all of the self-negative thoughts, again, just trusting that intuition. So what's insignificant now is you don't need to do anymore. You don't need to hide anymore. The doing in the sense of that you don't have to do in the way that you had been. Whoever this was that you needed to appease, or whoever was shutting you down, you don't need to do that anymore is what I mean. Like, shine the light on me. I don't need to live up in your, like, again, like when I talked about those light squashers, right? And this is like, what's insignificant now, your light's not getting squashed anymore, quite literally. Oh, this is a beautiful evolution. If you love all of you. Okay, let's see the mature person that you are. Nature. I just heard it's a part of my nature, but this was also a part of how I had to grow, like how I develop, how I literally develop into this mature version of me is through my environment, through my experiences, through what I've been through my people, through my patience. Through my patience. And King of Wands, yeah, that I step into my full glory, my full power, my full magic. That's so lovely. If you love them all, the child within you, that anxious, unsure version of you, the light attributes of taking in the light attributes of what got squashed, got hidden, got veiled, allowing yourself to take a risk, go deep into the shadow self of you, embracing the nameless, your true magic within, the power to block out any negative energies because you are that strong, embracing and using some of that feminine power and weaver energy into incorporating or integrating or loving the masculine part of you, and dive deep into that. You will be surprised how much this will aid in the evolution of you, about sharing that wisdom eventually. And when you find that way out, slowly and surely, you'll be so confident, so clear, and you will be in that spotlight because you no longer need to withdraw. You'll no longer feel small. You'll no longer second guess yourself or not trust yourself. The great light is shining on you. And the mature person in you is because of your experiences, because the patience and the time it took you to get through, to get to that mastery of you, which you will get to, my lovely. That is a guarantee. I don't care what anybody says. If you keep doing the work, you're going to get there. I love that, my love. Okay, let's get your 2 closing messages. Guidance cards from the Gypsy Oracle. Beautiful. Spirit. Absolutely. Unseen forces watch over you. I absolutely feel that for everybody, but for sure. Especially in your scenario, my pal 3. It really does feel like Spirit's been with you the whole way, even though it feels like you've been doing this shit alone. Like, been protecting you, guiding you, honoring you. And look at that, the Griffin. Honor and good luck. Honoring you. As I said honoring you, it said that. It dropped out, excuse me. Honor and good luck. Again, protection, honor and good luck. You got this, my loves. This process of you, this changing of you. It's a big step. Because I know anxiety is not an easy thing to just like overcome for real, depending on the severity of it or the spectrum on which you fall. But it feels like you can tackle this. And if not now, you will be approaching a crossroads with this particular energy for you to make the choice. Do I stay on the same path or stay in the same perspective that I have been, or am I ready to try another route? And that route is within that masculine energy. Oh, my lovely collective of Pal 3, I hope this was helpful. If it was in any way, please let me know. I would love to read about it. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, ciao.